Rebecca, and I live in Germany. I'm American. I had a wonderful time. My expectation of what to see in India, I was very open because I was looking for some time away, and I was very happy not to have to organize the trip myself. I felt confident that without putting thought into it myself that I would have a great time, and I have had a wonderful time. Because our tour was textile based, I knew that I would see things that interested me since I'm personally interested in textiles and handcrafts, and I make a lot of things myself, so I appreciate what work goes into these sorts of things. That was the part of the trip that I was most excited about. I was quite certain that I would see enough of that type of stuff to make me happy. I saw much more than I anticipated. It exceeded my expectations in that regard. It was very special to see the products, but more so the people that were making the products and the behind the scenes things that went into the production, whether it was a very small production or large productions. It was really interesting, not just the handwork, also the organizational things, the volunteer force that they needed, for example, in the Kala Raksha. That was something that I didn't expect to learn so much about, and it was great to really see the behind the scenes and what goes into all of that, and to see the people who these services are helping, training at the Siwa organization, seeing these women there and their children that were coming out of the building when we went in, heading off to school. Situations that if these women were not in this organization might not be possible for their kids. So that was something that I didn't expect to see, and I think it was good for myself that I had the opportunity to see those things.
All those organizations took time to explain in detail, and they spent hours with us.
They did. They spent a lot of time with us. Everyone was so giving. We were there with the promise of nothing. I mean, we were not offering them anything, but everyone was so open to us asking questions, and as we asked more questions, they became more interested in answering our questions.
And you're personally interested in bandhani and tie and dye.
I am personally interested in bandhani and tie and dye, and these resist dyes.
Resist dye.
And visiting I can't remember the name of him.
The one in Bujodi village.
The one in Bujodi village, yeah. That was very, very special. We had to drive away to get to it, but it was really special to see the process and see the amount of work that goes into it.
And outside Bhuj, we went. That's the one you're mentioning. 14 kilometers we drove into a village where nobody goes. So he took time to, Suleiman took time to explain each and every process, and his studio.
Yeah, he spent so much time with us, and it was, that they're just there doing their daily work, and
his
trying
wife
to get things
showed
done,
us,
and they stopped what they were doing to go the extra
and
step.
did you like the studio which he has created for the students to come in?
And that's amazing, because that but encourages students or other people that are interested in to come and learn about this tradition within his family, but for India as a whole. It goes back almost 1,000 years or more, probably for his family, maybe 800 years. That was really wonderful to see that they have that they are doing something concrete to encourage people to learn what they're doing, which is great. And the other thing that was really special was seeing the ICAT weaving. I've seen double ICAT in several countries. It's not just unique to India. And I know the theory of how it's made. So it wasn't impressive for me when they said, "Oh yeah, you dye the warp and the weft." Yeah, I know that all. But then we saw him weaving it and saw them lining up those threads, and it just all came together like this miraculous thing. That was really very impressive to see that, because I've seen a lot of pieces of ICAT. I've had a lot of explanation what it is, what goes into it, and to actually see them weaving it and bringing it together in what's that called, the
patola ikat weaving.
Very precise, and that was really impressive.
Yeah.
And visiting in that workshop, it was not a tourist destination.
No. They just opened the doors for us because we were keen
to lunchtime.
Yeah, and then visiting the villages, how did you find? Was it safe?
Was
it comfortable?
Visiting the villages was a very interesting experience for me as well. I expected, I've been in other parts of Asia before, poorer parts of Asia, and have experienced a lot of people asking for money or trying to sell things very aggressively, which is something that just comes along with some parts of the world. And I honestly did expect to experience more of that in some of the outskirts places that we were going, but it was so far away from touristy life. The people were just excited.
They just wanted to take photographs.
They wanted to take photographs with us. We were the tourist attraction.
Yeah, and even though it's a textile store, we try to cover architecture and cuisine and music and all those aspects. So we covered, like for example, architecture, the step well.
Right.
Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
Initially, we walked down the step well into in Gujarat.
Yeah.
So how that was Rani Ki Vav in Patan.
Yeah, that was also, and that was a nice break from driving through the villages and things, and seeing this step well was very impressive and nice and cool.
And the motifs on the wall. The reason we picked that step well was to show the motifs on the wall was used in the patola ikat weaving.
Yeah.
So we were tying the architectural motifs to the textile weaving industry.
It's amazing, and it goes along also with the religious paintings as well, and seeing these images on temples and other structures. I think that you were able to organize the tour in such a way that we could really put a lot of pieces together, and it was sort of bit by bit. At first we did quite a lot of things, seeing a lot of things, and then we did some other sort of sightseeing things that brought it all together,
and having meal with the Jain meal at the Jain temple.
That was amazing. That was one of my favorite parts of the trip, was just going into the Jain temple, and you go into a temple or a religious building of a religion that's not your own, and you're not quite sure how to act, and you try to be respectful and not stare too much at people doing the things that they came to the temple to do. But people were so open to us and so excited to have us there, and when I left, he gave me a calendar of the Jain holidays, which I can't read at all, but
it's a good gesture.
And then they invited us to lunch.
Yes. And after that we went and visited the medical camp,
and that was also amazing. And
so it's not part of the tour
at all. And that was an amazing experience to see the opportunities that they have for people to come and give back. I mean, the woman that had told us about the hospital wanted to give back to her community, and to see that they have this really organized setup for the medical care, but also for people to come and lend their services, for these doctors to come, these Indian doctors to come from overseas on their sabbatical for a couple of months and provide their services to their hometown. Amazing. It's a wonderful way because people do want to give back.
Yeah.
No, I had a wonderful time. It was the experience of a lifetime. Mm-hmm. I want to come back to India. I'm not finished yet. I feel like this tour was complete, and I have seen everything that I want to see on this tour. Now that I know more about India, I want to see other parts of India, maybe some of the same parts that I've seen already. I had a lot of relaxation time. more than I'm used to.
So it was a good holiday as well. That's what I was trying to come to.
It was a good holiday, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So and you highly recommend us to?
I felt like Joji treated us as family, and that's a wonderful thing to feel like you're taken care of on a tour. You feel safe, but also like you're experiencing something that is an adventure.
Thank you, Rebecca.
You're welcome.